What's going on? This is My Life in the Show. I'm your host, Donald Washington. Now, sexual assault allegations against everybody. Horrible mistakes that we are making. We're now allowing women to just say, oh, 30 years ago, we had consensual sex, and since he was my boss, I felt that I thought I was going to be fired. Stop it. I went to his hotel room at 2 in the morning. Really? Now, Tavis Smiley, he's saying I ain't having no parts of it. Look here, I'm fighting back, and I'm absolutely glad, brother, fight back, because now you just give the red flag for everybody just to say, oh, I was sexually assaulted. And they're trying to they canceled his show on PBS just because a woman said, oh, we had consensual sex. What? So now everybody's seeing everybody else do it successfully, get people fired. And what do you think women gonna do? Women are very malicious. Very malicious. And now they see that they can get all their CEOs and old bosses, even if it's a good relationship. They're like, hey, fuck it, let's get them fired. I want to take y'all to somebody on Facebook I found. And she gave her true 100% opinion. Check it out.
What's up, y'all? It's Shamika Michelle, and I am sick of hearing about all of these sexual harassment or misconduct allegations. Let me be the first one to say that I do believe that some of these allegations are legit. However, as a female, I'm telling y'all women that some of y'all are lying. Sexual harassment? Tell me how is sexual harassment for a man to give you a compliment? Even if he goes as far as to say what looking on you does to him, how it makes him feel. That's not sexual harassment. That's him showing his admiration for a female. You know what I think this is? This is an all-out assault on masculinity. And some of y'all females aren't going to be happy until these men are walking around like a bunch of soft-ass butterflies. And you know what's really sad is that we have young girls, 6 and 7 years old, that are truly being sexually abused. Yet we have women that are 40 and 50 trying to draw all of the attention to themselves. What you need to be doing is taking accountability. You need to be telling the truth and saying that you claimed you had a gift or a talent, but instead of you waiting for somebody to recognize that, you did some dumb bullshit and it didn't turn out in your favor. So now you want to come out and say you were sexually harassed. Let me tell you something. If a man invites me to his hotel room or to his home at 11, 12 o'clock at night, I don't think he's inviting me there for business. I don't think he's inviting me there to play a game of spades. I think he want to fuck.
Thank you. Mike Tyson's accused of talking about she was invited to his hotel at 2 in the morning. And they had consensual sex, but she said, "Oh, I went over there at 2 in the morning. I thought we was gonna play cards. Get the fuck, stop it, stop it."
So if I don't want to fuck, then I need to keep my ass out of his home or his hotel.
Thank you. Stop it. You went to his hotel at 2 in the morning.
Room at all times of the night. So y'all teaching these young girls that they don't need to take accountability. I have 3 girls, and what I'm teaching them is if you have a talent or a gift, you wait for somebody to recognize who you are and what you're bringing to the table. Y'all talking about sexual assault? The real assault is on these men's intelligence. That's where the assault is, because you think they're too weak and feeble-minded that you can use what's between your legs to help you get ahead. But then when you realize 2 things, number 1, you have bad talent and bad sex, and you don't get what you want, now you're upset. Now you're coming out 20 and 30 years later talking about sexual harassment. Sit your ass down.
Thank you.
Make a voice for these young
Thank you. Good God.
Young girls and teach them how to be accountable, because y'all are not being accountable for the things that you know you did wrong. It's time to take accountability, and if the men are sick of hearing about it, this whole movement that we have going on, guess what? As a female, let me tell you, me too.
Thank you. I was going to say just that, but she said it so good, so she told it the best. He go Travis Smiley. Now, Travis Smiley is going to, he going to come out and say right before, he didn't even know it was an investigation on him.
Hi, I'm Travis. I was as shocked as you were to hear of PBS's sudden announcement regarding my television program. Let me say at the outset that I have the utmost respect for all women, and I certainly celebrate the courage of those women who've come forth of late to share their own truth. But let me also assure you that I have never groped, inappropriately exposed myself, or coerced any colleague in the workplace ever in my 30-year career. PBS launched this so-called investigation of me without ever even telling me about it. I only learned of this investigation because former colleagues, former staffers, started to call me to tell me they were getting a phone call from some PBS investigator asking, number one, did Tavis ever make you feel uncomfortable in the workplace? And number two, can you give us other persons to call? Only after threatening a lawsuit did PBS investigators agree to sit down and talk to me for 3 hours. And even then, their minds must have been made up, because almost immediately after that session ended, this story broke in Variety. PBS investigators refused to look at any of my documentation.
Thank you. Not one word in the last 20, 30 years, in his 30-year career, did any of these allegations. All of a sudden, everybody coming out saying, oh, me too, this, that, and the other. And then it's going to come out that he had a consensual relationship. And she said, oh, well, he was my boss. I thought if I get fired, it's the total BS.
As you deny any wrongdoing, correct?
Absolutely. I have never groped. I have never coerced. I have never exposed myself inappropriately to anyone in 30 years, over 6 different networks, and there's never been any allegation of that. I celebrate and applaud these women who've had the courage to come out and to tell their truth and lead us in a conversation about how to create healthy workspaces. And I've had some of those women on my program, in fact.
And you know what? It's a tragedy to the women who are telling the truth, because now everybody's coming out and saying everything, and now the ones who are telling the truth, they looking like it's just another scheme again. They're just against men in power.
At the same time, I want to make sure that we don't lose all sense of nuance and proportionality in this conversation, because if we do, then people end up being guilty simply by accusation.
I want to get more to the conversation.
And you know what? This is why I hate against talking with a reporter that hates you and is totally against you. Look at the body language of this lady. Check it out.
A little bit, but you admit to having consensual.
And so she's trying to make him uncomfortable. So, and you know what I'm saying? When somebody's just against you and their body language, it makes you uncomfortable. Then it makes you look guilty.
Sexual relationships with your subordinates. Do you understand how that could be viewed as an abuse of power?
I don't think abuse of power. If you had a consensual, you're an adult. Consensual sex is consensual sex. If you're an adult, stop it. You're 18 and up. You have the mental capacity to say yes or no. Get the hell out of here with that. Oh, I thought you was my boss. I thought I could get fired. I'm so scared. Get the fuck out.
Absolutely. I certainly understand people who have a viewpoint that any consensual relationship in the workplace is wrong. There are some people who believe that there is no...
Now, you shouldn't do it, because if y'all break up, y'all gonna have fights, this, that, and the other. But it ain't no damn rape. Stop it. It ain't no fucking sexual assault.
Such thing as a consensual relationship in the workplace. I hear that point of view and I respect it. But there are also other points of view on this. My company, and let me be clear, I own my company. PBS distributes my content.
Sure.
In our employee handbook, while we do not encourage office relationships, we don't forbid them either. And we don't forbid them, Paula, because I don't know where your heart's going to lead you. I don't know who you're going to hang out with or date or fall in love with. And indeed, there are millions of Americans watching this program right now who met their spouses at work.
But how can you be certain that these women didn't feel that they were going to lose their job?
Get the fuck out of here. You see this? How do you feel certain that they didn't think they was going to lose it? That's because they're adults. When you have consensual sex as an adult, you consent. That's what is consensual. Talking about you're going to lose your job. Get the hell out of here. Look at her. Look at her. Look at her body language.
Because I never gave any favoritism upward or downward. I never promoted anybody, demoted anybody because of that.
Anyone that you were in a relationship with?
I have never, ever given. First of all, I don't run my...
And then women try to pull that bullshit. If I sleep with you, they can do any goddamn thing they want. Then they can't get fired. If you deserve to be fired, then get fired, goddammit. You don't get no free pass because you slept with the damn boss.
I own the company. There's a team of people that run the company. And I have never given anyone any employment instruction to do anything to anyone with whom I had a consensual relationship.
So you said you didn't fire anyone whom you had a consensual sexual relationship with. Mm-hmm. Any of those women that you had a relationship with, are they still on your staff?
One person is, yes.
One person is. Were you ever told by a peer, a subordinate, or an employer or employee that anything you did or said made them feel uncomfortable?
Never.
Never. Sources tell ABC News that you've also been accused of, quote, sexually explicit messages and unwelcome banter about women's bodies. So what are we talking about here?
I have no idea.
No, let's check this out. They try to say unwanted banter on women's body. Let's say if you walk in that's why. And I did a show about a female coming to work with skin tight dress on, and everybody jumped on me. Oh, you're wrong on this. Women could come half naked to work. Women could come with nothing. Women don't have to wear clothes to work. Really? With all the sexual assault, you say, oh, you look nice in that. It's sexual assault. That's unwanted bantering towards a woman. If you come half naked, stop with the bullshit. You're going to get treated that way. Stop thinking somebody's going to want you for your mind and you come half naked. That's bullshit. When I came out and said nobody should come to work half naked with skin tight, if you wear size 10, then you should wear size 11 or 12. If you wear size 10, you should not be wearing a size 8 to work. If your dress is tighter, it's the same thing you wear on date night to the club or to your date night. You should not wear it to work. People jumped all over me. And I'm saying this. So now you come to work half naked. Somebody say, oh, wow, you look nice in that dress. Sexual assault. Stop it. Stop it.
I do. I sat with people.
Did you ever send lewd text messages?
I've never sent lewd text messages to anyone. In a consensual relationship, we use text messages to communicate.
Right. And so look, they in a consensual relationship. If y'all having sex consensually and y'all in a relationship, you're going to be sending text messages, girl, what's up, what we on tonight, what we going to do, this, that, and the other. So now they're trying to flip it and say it's an inappropriate text message.
Consensual relationships. I've never done that to an employee ever.
Some have alleged that you also created, quote, a verbally abusive and threatening environment. What's your response to that?
Not true. I have an intense environment. I have a television show, a radio program, a podcast.
Verbally abusive. Now, let me tell you something. If any and everybody could come out and get their boss fired, they would. They would. Any and everybody. Any environment you go to, they're going to complain about their boss.
We run a foundation. I have a speakers bureau. We have a book imprint, as you just mentioned a moment ago, as Lindsay did. And so it's a very intense environment. Some of the most intense places in our business are in control rooms around this country. That's not for everyone. So it might be that the environment wasn't good for you. So these environments are...
Hey, he run his own country. He can run it the damn way he feel like.
Intense at times. And I hate the word brand. I may be the brand, the face of my company, but I'm not...
And if you don't like it, quit.
An inanimate object. I have feelings, I have emotions, and when the ball gets dropped on something, I have to deal with that. So those conversations might be intense, but I'm not an angry black man, and this notion of a hostile environment just doesn't fit.
And you called the PBS investigation sloppy. You were upset that they didn't tell you that investigation was going on, but you also say that you weren't allowed to show proof that these relationships were consensual. What kind of proof do you have?
I think anyone who's ever been in a consensual relationship can prove it with letters, cards, gifts, and certainly photographs. But PBS only agreed to talk to me after weeks of an investigation, which they didn't tell me about. So let's just back up for a second if we can.
But are they supposed to tell you that they're investigating you? Do they have to?
PBS never informed me that a complaint had even been alleged. I was never told there was a complaint. I was never told there was an investigation. I found out about it from former staffers who were getting these strange...
Now, if we let this go on, every CEO, every boss, everybody... If people gonna come out 30 years, I can't believe talking about Russell Simmons. He had consensual sex with a girl 30 years, early 90s. 30 years ago, he had sex with a girl consensually, and she's talking about, oh, I went to this hotel. That's another 2 in the morning hotel room. Oh, I was scared. Stop the bullshit, people.
Phone calls asking strange questions, and so I was unaware of it to begin with. But after finding out about it, my attorneys contacted the PBS investigators and offered to have me come talk to them whenever they wanted. They did this for weeks and refused to talk to me. They were prepared to close this investigation without talking to me, only under the threat of lawsuit did they agree to sit down and talk to me. And when they did, they talked to me for 3 hours, and they never told me who the accusers were, what the allegations were, never allowed me to provide any information.
Is it important to you to know who your accusers are?
It's important to sit in a meeting.
Yes, it's important, because goddamn it, if you had a consensual relationship with somebody, you can say, okay, here go the pictures, here go my proof. But if you don't say who it is, you can't bring no proof.
and at least understand what we're talking about. If we're talking for 3 hours and all the questions are vague and there's no specificity, no persons, no places, no times, it's hard to sit for 3 hours and talk without knowing what you're
You can't defend yourself.
talking about.
I think most of your employees had to sign non-disclosures. They feel threatened. They're scared to come forward and to publicly reveal who they are.
Well,
They're so scared. Oh, poor.
I'm not sure I believe that, number one. But number two, all I'm saying is in an investigation for 3 hours, if I don't know what we're talking about and there's no specificity, how can I answer the question? So I answer the questions to the best of my ability, but it gets a little worse than that. When this 3-hour meeting was over again, which only happened under the threat of lawsuit, they did not intend or had never agreed to talk to me, nor did they talk to any of my current staff. They didn't talk to my COO, they didn't talk to my HR person, so anyone who thought that something happened to them for whatever reason, no complaints were ever filed, number one, and number two, this investigation did not include talking to anyone on my current staff. And the minute that 3-hour meeting was over, within minutes almost, within an hour and a half, I think, PBS acknowledged to us, sent a letter to my attorneys, that they were using a clause in my contract to no longer distribute my show. 12 minutes thereafter, this story posted on Variety. Now, I don't know how you write a story, research a story, get quotes from unnamed sources, presumably at PBS, put links in the story, and do all that in 12 minutes. Something is awry here.
Do you regret anything that you've done?
Oh, absolutely. I've made mistakes. I've written 2 books. I've written 2 books about all the mistakes I've made in my life.
Look at it. You see how she's trying to bait him. Do you respect anything you've done? Anybody regrets, and everyone makes mistakes, and you learn from the mistakes, on you go. If you say hello to a female today, sexual harassment.
Career and the lessons I've learned from them. I recall once sitting in a conversation with a person who was...
That's something else. You can't, and I'm gonna call, hey, look, I'm telling you, here, Chicago, you cannot even say, oh, wow, you look nice. That's why I don't. I never do.
Interested in being a producer on our show. It was supposed to be a short 30-minute meeting. For a couple hours, we're sitting there talking. At the end, I said to her, I said, my Lord, you're brilliant, you're smart, you're gorgeous. I'd rather date you, I think, than have you work for me. And I realized immediately what a mistake it was to make that comment. I went back immediately and apologized to her, and the situation was resolved. But yeah, I've made mistakes because I'm human. I'm not.
So that's the end of it. But yeah, you're human. Stop it. Stop it. You don't have to defend yourself. We believe you. But, of course, you got to go on there and go through the motions. But PBS canceled the show. And for what? No proof. You got no proof, and you canceled the man's show. And so now women are like, ooh, wow, I could get my boss fired. Everybody's going to come out about everyone. I bet you whoever's doing these investigations getting so many calls, it's just bananas. It's just bananas. And now, don't get me wrong, the women who went through it, you know, their stories should be heard. They should come out. But the ones that haven't, get out of here. You say anything to a woman 30 years ago, and they're trying to say, oh, he's did this. Ain't buying it. Good luck to this brother, man. Good man. Never one allegation against him in 30 years, and it ain't nothing now. And hopefully, man, he get his show back on PBS and get back on his feet, man. But now you didn't ruin the good man's career just because you felt like it. And I say this all the time. That's why I'm never getting married, man, because for real, women that do you just like that, they'll tell you they love you so much and would die for you Sunday. And I shit you not, Monday just want you dead just because. No reason. Just, you know what? I changed my mind. I want you dead. And will come after you. Just like this. For no reason. Had a consensual relationship with this man. Russell Simmons had a consensual relationship. Not a complaint, not a nothing. 30 years. They see they could get away with it if you're a CEO or owner or something. Gotcha. Anyway, if you think I'm wrong, which is cool, I'm with that. Leave a message right underneath. Let me know I disagree, and that's cool. I can be wrong. I am wrong a lot. I am also human. As if I'm all, you know what I'm saying, I've been wrong a lot, but this is my personal opinion on this particular case as it is of right now. If something else come out saying the man did this, that, and the other, and it changed, then my viewpoint will change. As of now, I ain't buying it. Anyway, like, comment, let me know what you think. Peace.